When I was younger, I used to do a lot of sports, volleyball, basketball, and whatnot. I wasn't really into makeup, and definitely wasn't into fashion and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say that. I wasn't into any type of girly stuff at all. I played with dolls, all of that. But whenever I used to see studs, what they call studs, women who, dress as men and stuff like that, especially women who seem like they were very beautiful or pretty or cute and had these traits to them that would make, like, why would you even want to be a stud? I remember in my childhood, there was this one girl who was considered a stud and dressed up as such. And she was so like pretty, she had this very unique skin tone combination along with like naturally like auburn hair and auburn eyes, and her skin matched perfectly. Like God put together that color palette very nicely. And I would sometimes wonder, like, and I would also talk about like why is she doing it? If she, did like if she, wore womanly clothes, and I'm not talking about skin revealing clothes, but just womanly clothes, whatever the case is. But back then, that was before my walk. So I don't even know if I even said it like that. But essentially, I just wondered that. And I came to my own conclusions throughout the years. Now, the reason I'm branching all this is because I ran into this video saying I'm starting to see more stud women go back to dating men. Now, this is off of another creator's platform, fair use. I'm not trying to play his commentary. I was just trying to see like what the actual video was saying.
Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something going on out here, and I don't know if it's my algorithm per se or what, but like, it's a lot of studs that's going back to men. I'm seeing a lot of content about women telling their stories about because women are just too wicked out here. Like, these women aren't just, they're not over their gay phases and they're just like, okay, fun's over. Like, nah, like they like, nah, I really do like women. I want to take a woman serious, but you know what? These women are so wicked out here, bro. Like, if I'm gonna be with a being, I might as well just pick the lesser out of two evils. And they going back to men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing enough content that's pertaining to that. And it's just like, ladies, this ain't a wake-up call to y'all to get y'all stuff together. This ain't a wake-up call to tighten up and maybe heal and be.
The real wake up call too is not to be a stud and not to be trying to go after Satan. At the end of the day, Satan doesn't want procreation. Okay. If we left it up to these studs, if we left it up to these men, that we would go, we would go extinct. At the end of the day, you're gonna do you. It's coming from a place of love. And that's God that put it in me to write this book, Value of Virtue, because it starts young. It's really wild. The irony in this video is just intense because, she talking about, women being evil, but then in turn doing something that is wicked. I'm not trying to throw stones. This is all coming from a place of love, but through these cartoons and different things that teach these little girls the wrong thing, I'm telling you, that's where it comes from. That's where it starts. So in this book, it just basically goes over thing that I wish I knew before laying down with a man. You have to lay down with your husband if you are going to have a lot of little girls, a lot of women are broken in these single family parent households and not really learning about what comes with laying down with somebody. Of course, I'm adding to the book as well as I continue. So if you do make the purchase, you will get access to all of the new updates. But back to the video. At the end of the day, you can't really talk about and touch on this stuff too much. It is what it is, but the facts are the facts. If everybody was to just be on some this type time, then that we would just no longer exist. Yeah, that's crazy. But as far as like healing, yes, you should heal. You should try to get yourself together, and then we should try to go and create that relationship with the Most High and figure out the reason why it is that you feel the way that you do.
The same thing about y'all. Studs is saying the same thing about y'all, and studs are women too. Just in case y'all forgot, like, other women with sense and other men are saying the same thing about
Yo.
y'all. Y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together. Because I know me being done wrong by women, I know that incentivized me to be a better woman, because I don't want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me, because that pain is a pain. Like, women be ruthless with they joint. Like, a man can hurt you, but a woman will hurt you even more, dog. Like, it's just like, y'all are savages. I ain't gonna hold you. And y'all do it with such no remorse. Like, y'all just shrug y'all shoulders about it, like, all right, whatever. Like no remorse. Nothing. It's just like, man, woo. I can't even put it in words. I gotta make a sound effect to describe some of y'all's
She said she
behavior,
got to make a
dog.
sound
Like,
effect.
man, like, y'all know how bad of a person you gotta be, how bad of a relationship partner you gotta be
Make a
to make
sound
somebody
effect.
consider doing a whole 180 in their sexuality.
Yo, a whole
Crazy.
180. I mean, listen, and that could be God steering you into the right direction. Like, because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. We all get put into this situation where we just burst naked up into this thing. We just here and we don't know what's going on. And then we got some guy who hates us all, who literally runs these systems, who runs these different things and is steering us wrong and all type of stuff. And it's like, yo, like, and that's why when it's like, it's important when you start getting tastes of the truth to take it seriously and bring it to God and ask him, because there's so many things that I've done wrong. Okay. If there's a sin list, I can't count, because it's like the things that I've done and that I have not done. Like, it's just crazy and wild. Like, if you could take that as an opportunity to realize that it's becoming a stud, or because like trying to do things for outward appearance, whether that be becoming a stud, getting BBL, all these things, it's like it's not going to fulfill you on the inside.
Y'all tighten up as a whole. You need to tighten up, because y'all gonna look up and ain't nobody gonna want to mess with y'all other just what's in between your legs. And I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. You look around and don't nobody want to take you serious.
And also be careful with that, because there's a lot of people that will say that, oh, they're not going to mess with you, or they're only going to want your body. Be careful with that. Men, women, you sleeping with somebody, you know that they're toxic, but you just want what's in between their legs. That's still transferring those negative spirits, that baggage, the emotional baggage that these women, that these men have. And you can in turn still be introducing anxiety, toxicity, paranoia into your life.
And if they are trying to mess with you, it's really just to get
God already lets you know this in Bible KJV. Okay, the fornication, there's a reason why God talks about this. Okay, it's because you're not supposed to be fornicating. Sin leads to, what sin leads to, but ultimately he knows the fornication is nothing good that's going to come out of it for you.
they rocks off and then go about their business. Is that really what you want to be used for?
Do women have any options left?
Y'all don't want to be loved, right? Y'all don't want to be loved. Y'all don't want to be treated right. Y'all don't want none of that. Y'all just
Yeah, they want Satan. They want Satan. Like, it's from the very beginning. Okay, Eve's love to be treated terribly. Eve's love to be, hit, left, broken. They love to go after the men that get all the women and compete and be in these toxic environments, because they have to feed their pride, because they have to feed their ego, because they see themselves as gods. They want to see themselves as that. They want to see themselves as these people that are so perfect. And it's like, when you lead with your vanity, when you lead with your appearance, when you lead with those things, you're putting it on something that has an expiration date. You're putting it on something that deteriorates, that depreciates. Not saying that because you see an older woman. I've known of an older woman that had so much more, like so much much value. Not saying that you want to make say, oh, that somebody you're better than somebody else. No. In terms of her wisdom, her relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that they're like I said, they're up in age and yet they have so much wisdom and understanding. Okay. Gray hair, that's a sign of wisdom. Obviously, so of course, there's still people that's walking in whatever the case is, but you notice how much a person learns as they age and as they lose the beauty. You think people like that, they're really learning and taking in what life is, because at the end of the day, once people stop entertaining these women because they want to sleep with them, that's when they start to hit what people call the wall. Not even that. No, not even that, because there are women that are still they're still going to get hit up in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. But once you start, and depending on how well you take care of yourself, but once you start creeping up to whatever that age is for you, whatever that age is where you're really old and you're not getting that type of attention, these women are going to not have too much wisdom. The only wisdom they probably gonna gain is I don't even know. It's kind of scary because it's like, it does, like, what a miserable life. And then a lot of women are choosing to go childless but are still fornicating. So that's like a really depressing end. Okay, no kids from all of the work that they've been putting in. And you only could hope. Again, I don't know where I'm going to go. Okay. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like we have this grace period and we should take advantage of it. Yes, of course, after all that, if it takes you aging out and no one really wanting you anymore, and then for you to realize that, oh, I should have been creating this relationship with the Most High, maybe that's just the experience that you had to go through in order to get to that point, because everybody has to go through something in order to get to a certain point. But yeah, it's really sad times that we're living in.
Just want to be reckless, do whatever y'all want, and then y'all expect for other people to just take it, tolerate it. And then if they leave you alone, you flip it on them like they did something wrong. I done heard so many women be like, only the strong can survive with me. Why somebody gotta be strong to deal with you? Why can't you just be strong enough to control yourself? Like, y'all don't be hearing y'allself when y'all be talking, man. But yeah, that's really a thing, ladies. Tighten up. Cause these tomboys, these studs and men is really getting tired of y'all. Y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to tighten up. Because honestly, quite frankly, if women as a whole tighten up, not only will the relationship and the dating pools will get better, society will get better too. But we gonna all keep being in hell. Just as long as women keep being in hell, society gonna be in hell. Everything gonna be in hell.
Like content like this, you can hit the subscribe button, like, share. Just crazy. Like, even the studs, okay, which I don't even like to call them studs. They're women, okay? She, said it herself too. She's a woman. Even the women that try to, fulfill their void by going after their own is saying, well, that we terrible. Okay, I, as a woman who, I wasn't dating women or anything like that, say, if you already know, biblical blasphemy, but you can't really talk about it on these platforms, you already know. But I just being friends with certain women, experience with women in general in this life has been very, very dramatic. It's not something that I like you want to say, but it's something that is definitely happening. But I mean, in the workplace, friendships in school, it's like every single relationship that I've ever had with, well, not all, but most relationships that I've had with women have not been good. Okay, that have ended badly. What I want to say, because at some points it may have been good, at some points we may have laughed, and at some points it was okay. But then there was times it's really, really good, all right, or terribly, horribly bad. okay, where it doesn't even, the bad doesn't have any type of comparison to the good, because the bad is just so bad. And that's why I warn women out there, be careful who you choose as a friend, because there's demons in these women, and Jezebel spirit can be very jealous, can be very like even if you like, you're not confident, and like, why would someone be jealous of you? Trust, like, trust when it comes to these women, they will be jealous of a pencil if it got more attention than them. Okay, they will be jealous that you got edified in this video. But all jokes aside, I hope that you were edified in a positive way in this video. Please, seek him, seek the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have that opportunity to go and be with your father is such an amazing thing. Like, and you don't want to lose that. All right, God is, God be with you. Pick up your Bible KJV. That's the one I recommend. Even a few pages a day, he can start to show things to you and revelations to you, to answer the questions that you have. Okay, and of course, create a relationship with him. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed.